So today on the program, we're welcoming Quincy College President Dr. Rick DeCristofaro for kind of a midsummer update and a preview of fall. So Rick, welcome back. Great to talk to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much, Joe, and everything you guys do here for the city is just always appreciated.
We're really happy to feature the college. It's a great story to tell. It's over 70 years now serving the city?
It's interesting because we have a publication basically built for Quincy, built for Quincy and built in Quincy as well. So I mean, this started as really momentum in 1958.
Right.
I wasn't there at the time, but so 58, and then in 61 they really started with liberal arts, but it was started really with parents from Germantown and Adams Shore, Marymount, and House Neck that went to Quincy School Committee and said, hey, we want to keep our kids in Quincy. We don't want them to have to go anywhere else for an additional education. This is what we want, and School Committee bought into it. They had a bunch of consultants. They worked it. In 61, they opened. So it's a great story, and it's a typical story for Quincy.
Do it yourself, right?
Yeah.
Lift yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah. So and the mission has been the same. The focus is students, opportunities. And then today, of course, with the world of work, where can we go? How can we train people that need to be trained? And how can we extend education to our 18 to 24 and our 24 and older population, which really is probably could be about 50%.
Is that right?
Yeah,
okay.
Because I think they get to a point, at that age, they've been through stuff before and say, you know what? This is where I want to go. This is what
finally
I
figured
want
it
to
out,
do.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm still working on that. But no, really. So it's a credit to the city for supporting Quincy College for such a very, very long period of time. But everything is there's reciprocity. I mean, so you figure 43%, 41, 42, 43% are Quincy residents that attend Quincy College.
So it truly is serving its mission.
Yeah, well over 1,000 students every year. Students, when I say students, it could be older, could be younger. And we provide a lot of pathways for the students from Quincy and north that have programs that fit just about everyone.
Yes, well, you have grown exponentially from your years as Quincy Junior College.
Yes,
to now having 3 baccalaureate programs. You have your early college high school programs.
Yeah.
You have your dual enrollment programs.
Yeah. So we have the 3 baccalaureates, now we add 4. Because our 4th is the RN to BSN
okay.
one
So
program.
that's up and running now?
Yes, it's up
it
and
is.
running.
Okay.
Started late spring.
Okay.
So the courses are up and running, and so we got those courses, and then we're working on number 5. We have a team to say, okay, what's next?
Wow.
But even start like a master's degree, maybe program in psychology. Psychology is a bachelor's, but it's just growing and growing. So we're thinking before we go to another baccalaureate, maybe we go to a master's degree. So we're exploring everything, but you have to go through so many hoops from the state, which is the right thing to do, but it slows you down a little bit, and I've never been one to go slow.
No, that's true. I've known you a long time, and
let's move it.
You like to make things happen.
Yeah, but again, they're just opportunities.
Right. Yeah.
And it focuses on our mission.
How's the summer been going?
Summer's great. Yeah. We're working on a lot of things. Just athletics. I was just talking this morning to some of the students coming in to register, but we're starting a women's basketball team, which is really something I don't think they've ever done, Quincy College has ever done, but I can't be sure of that, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But, so a golf team, co-ed golf. Men's soccer has 26, participants right now. So we've expanded that. We'll continue our baseball, we'll continue our men's basketball. Hockey is very, very difficult to recruit. So I don't know where we are right now. We may not have enough students for the hockey program, which is too bad because last year they were so successful.
Yeah.
But whether it's transfers, that they go to other colleges. We just don't have enough filling at the other spots.
It's a pretty expensive sport, actually. The equipment is quite pricey. Yeah.
It's our most expensive program.
Yes.
But I'd still like it because I think a lot of Quincy and North Quincy kids that may not go to a Division I or II school can come here for 2 years. Now they can come here for 4.
Right.
But if they come here for 2 and want to transfer, or after 1 year, do really well in hockey and go to another school, hey, That's why we're here.
Well, it's part of the reason that folks go on with their education, right? Is to participate in college athletics.
Yeah. And that's something that we don't that we have now. We're building, but wasn't really as present.
Right. Yeah.
And I think because of expense, finding the right coaches, recruiting the students. But I think Doug right now is doing a really great job as athletic director.
Doug Scott.
Yeah, and Jack did before.
Of course, yeah.
But it's a different climate, different culture right now, and so he's doing a really excellent job.
Yeah. What's coming up in the fall, Rick?
Yeah, we have a ton of stuff coming in the fall, and looking mostly at our allied health programs.
Okay.
Making sure that we have what we have, but also extending. Our radiology lab is doing great. There's a huge waiting list. We're waiting for our approval to add another cohort. We have 2 cohorts, but there's just an incredible need out there. So those students would begin their radiology, but the ones that have just graduated, they have we have an MRI certificate coming. We have a CT scan certificate coming.
Okay.
We're also looking at 2 associate degrees, radiation therapy, anesthesia technicians. All of these are right up there in the world of work and the need, of hospitals and agencies. So we're working with a lot of clinical partners to make sure that our students are ready to take a job immediately. The rad tech students that have graduated just, we had their pinning probably 2 weeks ago. Out of say 18, 17 have jobs already.
That's fantastic. Wow, that's amazing.
I mean, that's the mission.
Yeah.
That's the mission. To give people what they need to be upward mobile.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the benefits of being a smaller school.
It really is.
You can really respond almost on a dime to the needs of the workforce, right?
Yeah. And what's great. It's like Cheers. Just about everyone knows your name.
Well, yeah.
You always have someone to talk with, not just talk to.
Yeah.
Talk with, and so that's the mission. That's the focus, and I think that. Started in '61, and I think it's continuing.
When did the Plymouth campus come about? Do you know roughly when that was?
I'm not sure. I would probably say 2000, maybe 15, 16.
Okay.
So that's going okay. We have about 260 students every year.
All right.
We have our nursing program, which has expanded in the fall. Another 40 nurses, which is really great.
Super.
We have our physical therapy program down there, a CNA program down there. And then every other aspect of the college that we can offer. But I think the programs are really what's solid about Plymouth. And if we can build more programs, we have an EL, English language program starting down there, and I think that will take off. So we're looking at expanding, but not too much. I mean, just like any other business, you can't expand too much because then you're going like, oh, how do we?
We've
really
got too big for our britches, right?
Yeah,
right.
So we're doing that, and I think that Plymouth's got a great future.
Well, it's a slightly different workforce in that part of the state, right? Probably the hospital in Plymouth is one of the biggest employers.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And we're trying more to contact with the school system. I mean, that's really the key, and I've been. Not a haunt, but probably for 5 or 6 years, I've talked to the superintendent and said, "Hey, because Plymouth right now could be a designated early college high school."
There's 2 high schools in Plymouth. So,
yeah, and that connection to Cottage Park, the campus.
Yes,
it would really be wonderful for them. So I don't know. Maybe there's another partner. Maybe they're doing Massasoit.
all right.
Yeah, you can cut that out of the tape. But maybe if they have another partner, great.
Right.
But Cottage Park is right there. Yes. They don't have to travel far.
Yes.
So
which is a consideration.
Plymouth's doing really good. They're good. I wish the enrollment were more significant.
Okay.
Right. But the enrollment in Plymouth itself, student enrollment, is going down. So as that goes down, we have to try to keep it as stable as we possibly can.
Okay. Yeah, the high school would be an obvious choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we talk about that, the early college high school program, and how that works here in Quincy?
Absolutely incredible program, and that again, this is probably our 5th year.
Yeah.
I was invited to talk to at the State House to talk about what we do and how we do it in front of well over 400, whether presidents of the college, community college, which I love, and with students, with clinical partners. So it was really a great thing. And all I could say is, it takes the right people. You know, it takes a Megan Giovannone, a Keith Segala to really understand what students need and how to get to the students and families. So, yeah, we have well over 300 students in the program. Summer Academy, Early College Academy, there were 310 students over there taking 1 or 2 courses. We have our students that may have more than, really at a minimum, they take 12 credits that they can bring to college.
Yes.
We have some that take 40 credits.
Really?
Yeah, and we're continuing our accelerated program, which with these students, I think we've talked about it before, that accelerate the courses they take. You know, so they were there during the summer, 15 of them, and now they're going into their junior year. When they go to their senior year, Quincy Public Schools will give them their diploma as well. I hope we're a part of it, to, Kevin, to to make sure that we're there, because they'll get their associates in general studies from Quincy College as well, saving so much time, so much funding.
Yes.
And that's the other thing.
Yes.
I mean, really, it's well over $2 million that we've saved Quincy families in tuition from colleges all over the country.
Because there is no charge for Quincy students, right? For
Free.
College, high school.
Free.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, and we're working with the middle schools.
Yeah.
You know, we've been the Atlantic, we haven't done, I think it'll be done in the fall, but every other middle school, Saturday program, 4 or 5 Saturdays, talking about early college, but talking about a lot of different things that middle school students really need. And parents, meet beforehand. So if it goes 9 to 11, 9 o'clock, the parents meet for coffee,
Get to know each other.
Yeah, very, very important, especially, whether it's the middle school or the accelerated program, because there needs to be so much support from home.
I would think it would be such a comfort for parents, to have this opportunity where they have this, thought that, oh, my kid turns 18, I'm going to have to incur this huge expense, for college. Not necessary here in Quincy, right? You don't have to.
Great program. I mean, we have 7 designated programs now. We got an additional 4 the state 4. So that's great for us. It's other communities, but it's tuition driven. So it's good for a base for us. So that's a wonderful thing. And we also again doing the LEAP program with so many of our students that have intellectual impairment, that go to classes, audit 4 or 5 classes. We have now some that have gone beyond the LEAP program and have been students. They're so successful. They're students now. So that's another Quincy connection, and that's I don't think I've ever shared that enough to say.
I don't think you're right.
How many students, whether they be again 18 to 24 or 25 or older, that really have benefited from Quincy College right in their own city, just driving up from Howes Neck or coming from God's country, Quincy Point, and coming to the college, and now you can do it online, you can do it in the evening. We're starting a Saturday program. So the opportunities are there in a multitude of ways.
And it must be so rewarding, Rick, for the instructors, for the educators, for the professors to see those students, grow and thrive through those programs. Yeah. Must be incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, and I think as our instructors, to give them the credit, because there are many times we get students that come in that haven't been to college in a very long period of time, and it's okay to hold their hand through it. It's okay to understand that, to create relationships, to create trust. Someone they can talk with, that cheers sort of thing. Everyone knows their name. It's really, it means a lot to people, and they never, ever, ever forget it. They never forget it.
It leaves a lasting impression.
It's pretty terrific.
And you learn better, right, once you develop that relationship. Yeah.
Exactly right.
And you probably teach better too.
I think you teach with more of your heart.
Right.
No offense to others, I don't mean that, but I think there's a reason, a passion why you get into the teaching business.
It's more than just rote, teaching from a book. It's relating to that person and their needs. Speaking of books, tell me about this.
Oh yeah,
this is quite an impressive publication.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. And that I think came about because we felt, just like I've said, that we don't herald the fact that so many, what this college does for a lot of people, sure, but what does it do for Quincy residents? Whether you're unemployed and need training, or whether you're 18 and you're graduating from high school, you've been part of our pathways or not, but have a place to go to grow. So we put this together just to share, the kind of the multitude of connections that we have, whether it be how many of our employees work in Quincy.
Over 160.
Yeah, and our workforce development programs, all the whether it's community healthcare worker, whether it's phlebotomy, whether it's CNA, computer training, all sorts of great programs with workforce development that they would have to go somewhere else.
Right.
Other than this incredible city,
right,
for that training. So we put that together just to emphasize to everybody, not just school committee, not just city council.
Sure.
The mayor knows all of these programs and has been incredibly supportive. So we put it together thinking that would give it to people that can read it and appreciate what the college can do, but also appreciate each and every student that comes to us.
Yeah. So is this available for the
Yes.
public, the student body?
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Just to give folks a quick snapshot, 1,532 Quincy residents enrolled this year. So, these are current statistics. Over $2 million saved by Quincy families through early college high school. 328 students in the early college program. And 95% early college high school graduates attend a 2 or 4-year college. Yeah. I mean, those
Pretty
numbers
cool.
speak for themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
They really do. And that speaks for, there's the North Quincy High School instructors,
Yeah.
That work with Quincy College instructors. So that, it's all about your business, our business. It's all about relationships, and it's all about making sure that there's enough discussion that can really focus on our students and say, okay, what do they need? And it also shares that what are our top feeders? I mean, Quincy is our top feeder every single year.
It's, from 2020 to 2025, it's consistently top. And this year alone, 1,391.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, and I think with the graduates of Quincy and North, I think that's increased as well.
Yeah.
I would love to see more students come to the college and grow and go to wherever they want to go and do whatever they want to do. But our programs, especially in the allied health area, whether it's a surge tech program, whether it's the radiology program, the PTA program, these programs are, in the world of work, instant jobs.
Right.
Instant jobs.
In our
instant
market
mobility.
here in the Boston area, right?
Absolutely.
Healthcare is probably 1 or 2 in employment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why we want to extend there, but we have to find out what the market is, before we hop in and say, oh, we're going to do this program. Well, you have to have a foundation and
you have
a
to
base.
have a need to meet, right?
Exactly.
You don't want to do something that's
you don't have a program and say, hey, we have the program, but it's got a couple of students.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be judicious, I'm sure, about the way you allocate your assets, right?
Oh, please, yes.
Yes.
I didn't have to do that as superintendent.
No.
You know what I mean? You had to watch it, you had to lead it and manage it.
Well, of course, yeah.
But the school committee and the mayor took care of what they always took care of.
Right, exactly. Now, as you know, at least at this point, the city is not purchasing the former Eastern Nazarene College. I know there was some hope that Quincy College might be able to utilize that facility. So does that impact anything that you had?
No, not really. I think that if that had gone through, I really don't think, and I've had this conversation with His Honor, that I don't think we could just all of a sudden move into a place like that, because we're just not equipped financially to do that. Some of the gymnasium would be an incredible asset. Right. With our extending our sports. It's almost like we're second fiddle, and we should be, to QPS students.
Sure.
They should be absolutely the first. I just want to be close second.
Right.
And both Kevin Segala and Kevin, athletic director, both of them have been extraordinary in trying to fit us in somewhere, somehow.
Yeah.
But I think a gymnasium would be great for the city as well. I don't know if that would be separate. I don't know if there's a way to purchase that. I'd have to work with our Board of Governors to see what we can do and what we should never do.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Quincy College Foundation, because it's hugely successful.
Yeah, very, very successful. Yeah. And we kind of transitioned from the Quincy College Trust and have a board that's chaired by Paul Barbadero, who was a graduate, and an attorney and very successful. He chairs our board, and we've done very, very well. We had a gala in April to celebrate his honor, the mayor, and we did very, very well. About $350,000.
Wow.
All scholarships. It's just all scholarships for students. So we were incredibly pleased with that. Kara Bobroff does that, and as well as Jessica. You met Jessica before. Our vice president. So both have done an extraordinary job. And so it's been great. It's been great. So now we're looking at another April event, and it could be a multitude of things, but looking at another event. And again, the success of it is the success that goes directly to our students for scholarships. And everyone, they have the needs and financial need. They have grants, but then that last dollar piece is significant that they can be covered.
Is there an active alumni association, Rick? Do you know right now?
Great question. I wish you didn't ask, because we're not really where we should be.
All right. Well, that's what we're here to talk about.
No, I know. But it's a frustration because we're doing it, but we have to rely more on business partners prior to alumni, because the alumni right now. We have an alumni event in 2 weeks. By the way. So it was a good question, and thank you for that. So our nurses, instead of starting with the whole college alumni, we're gonna.
It's only 70 years old,
Yeah, that's all. So we're gonna look at a nurses alumni, have a speaker come in, have food. Definitely.
Yes.
And begin to attract a nurses alumni and start there, and then see where we go.
That's a great idea, actually.
From that. So we're working on that right now, and I think it's late November. September.
Okay.
That the event is
very
planned.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's a start, but it's frustrating because I wish we had done something a little bit earlier. Sound familiar? I wish we had done a lot of things a little earlier, but right now a lot of the really goodness, is coming to fruition. So I'm very proud of everyone at the college and what they do.
Yeah, absolutely. Are parents an active part of Quincy College? Yes.
Parents in regard to
overseeing their younger adults.
Yeah,
education.
it's funny. We deal with parents and grandparents. Not nearly as much, of course, as the Quincy Public Schools.
Of course.
But no, we do. We do, and it's not surprising anymore. People come to see me, they'll say, can I have, they'll talk about their student, but I say, well, if we're going to talk about the student, they have to be here. You know what I mean?
They're adults too, right?
Yeah, if we're going to make a difference, let's do it.
Right.
But we do that all the time. Our advisors do that all the time, and they know that family is, college, the Quincy College is family. So it's not just the student. There's that connection that's very valuable to support.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, so we do. And then we also, with early college, high school, we started parent advisory.
Of course.
Yeah, which is really, really good. And again, those parents, I think last year there were 15 or 16 of them, they carry the word forward. Because we can have more students in early college. It's a shame sometimes that you have this incredible resource and not 100% of the people take advantage of it. So we're constantly talking about it and marketing it. Because the more the merrier.
Because you have partnerships with not just Quincy Public Schools, right? Many, many public schools in the region.
Yeah. For dual enrollment, we have 35 partners.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And now some of them are designated, like Oliver Ames, tell Chris, right? Oliver Ames, that now is a designated early college site. Weymouth will be an early college site.
Okay.
So, and then as far down as Mansfield, all of these, but we have 35 dual enrollment partners.
Okay, and you bring it to them. They don't have to come to you, right?
And that's the
key.
greatest thing.
Yeah.
Their students come probably 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Come to the college, go to a class.
Sure.
We arrange everything for them.
Yeah.
And they're there for the morning. But so all of these partners come to the college. There's the early college designated. We have 7, and then we have 4 in the planning.
Okay.
So next year if they get all approved, there'll be 11 designations.
Well,
and it's branding. It's branding,
Yes.
and I think part of the booklet is to share that although we expand to other communities, the focus will always be the city of Quincy and those residents first.
Absolutely.
But you have to expand. You have to do that, and the more you expand, you hope as you look at your data that we're getting more students, from these other areas.
Yes.
I mean, Weymouth's one of the top feeders anyway.
Well, it makes sense. It's the next community over, so
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So the more we can expand, again, as you say, as in business, you do what you can do, in the market today. So so those partners are very satisfied. But that's our feeder system to planning grant with the state, to designation in the state. And the state's been unbelievable, and Speaker Mariano has been extraordinary in the sense of talking with them all the time. He's calling me every once in a while saying, is everything good? What do you need? Or whatever. So we got dual enrollment funding, which we never had before.
That's fantastic.
We have student support funding that we never had before.
Really?
And then the $1.5 million for 25-year-olds and over to come to the college.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's really done. He doesn't talk loud and often, but he is an incredible resource. I'm sure for others, but selfishly, for the city of Quincy, he'll never forget his roots.
Well, he's a teacher at heart. Started
He is.
at Snug Harbor?
Yeah.
As a teacher.
He
served for many years, served on the college board, was a teacher there. So,
yeah. So he's been extraordinary, and I don't have to say that because he would say, don't mention me at all anywhere. But he really is unbelievable. He's very much like the mayor. You know what I mean? It's roots.
We haven't talked a lot about it, but it's a definite career pathway is career, vocational, and technical education.
Yeah.
More now than ever.
Yeah.
The trades are suffering, and there's opportunities there.
Yeah, and I think in maybe this year we begin to talk more about the plumbing, the electrical, the carpentry. I think the college had it at one time, and for whatever reason it went away. I don't know why. Maybe it was a lack of enrollment at the time.
Before your time,
but that's where we need to go. That would be next, even for early college. To have those students. I mean, they get OSHA trains, they get OSHA credit, they do all that, and the school system does an incredible job at it. But to add that early college for them, even CJ, criminal justice, we do a lot with them. We need to do more because there's a market there for those students as well.
Yeah, it's just to earn a degree to become a master in your craft at that level really opens up opportunities.
That would be a terrific thing. You're right.
To maybe start their own business.
Yeah.
What else should we talk about?
Well, I think the whole idea of the baccalaureates as a piece of the foundation of the college, I think is really the future. The allied health programs, definitely the future to make sure those athletics opportunities are there. We have, again, bringing other programs and special education programs in as well. And it's community service, that we will be extending this year, mostly to our veterans. We have well over 300 veterans in our program. And we don't do enough for the community, I think. They've given and given and given already. But those guys and girls, I think they want to give more. That's who they are and what they can do. So we're expanding our community service, in the city. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So reaching out to them directly?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we obviously they're students, so we know who they are and where they are, and as long as we keep promoting the program, there's a certain amount of those students that would love to give back.
Is there financial help for veterans, Rick?
Yeah. The federal government does. I would say significant funding opportunity.
Okay, all right, good to know.
Yeah.
So there's no obstacle there. Yeah.
No.
Very good.
Not at all.
And it's rolling enrollment, right, at Quincy College?
It is, yeah. So that's the other real plus.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait. When I got there, it was like, that's the deadline, and I said, no, stop with the deadlines.
Yeah.
If a student wants to come here,
Yeah.
there is no deadline. We can plug them in anytime. That's, again, where the instructors play such a significant role. They're constantly, if they're going full speed in their curriculum, and if someone comes in 2 weeks into the semester, our professors, they understand. And they welcome them.
Yeah.
Where sometimes that may not happen.
Well, it's true. There's a game plan. They stick to it. They don't veer from it. But to be flexible, and meet the student where they are is key. Yeah.
Yeah. So we extend with advisory boards. We have 15 advisory boards. I was just on this morning with a Plymouth advisory board trying like heck to get out there into the community, to recruit partners, recruit students. So we know we do that, but the advisory boards here are great. We have a team organization. Now we have, this year, there's 36 active teams, so higher ed is unique in regard to the K-12. Higher ed people are far more content centered. This is what I do, this is what I do. But I think more and more at the college we include them in so many other things. So a science person can be talking to the liberal arts English person, with a goal that they have to do something special in curriculum for students. So we're really moving forward with a ton of collaboration within the culture, And I think that's been most likely when people say what's the goal or whatever, you can have a ton of goals. You can goal. You can have a ton of strategies and all these sort of things. The bottom line is you need to build culture. You need to have people understand, students understand, families understand what we can do for you. This is what we can do. These are the opportunities that we have. This is our mission. This is what we do and what they've been doing since 1961. So I think that should be the focus, and that's what I would want people to know through a booklet like this. To say that, hey, look at the opportunities, not just the opportunities, but the success of our students. You can offer someone, and they can participate and leave and say, well, whatever. These programs provide lifelong skills. And they make a difference in who families are and what they can do with the resources that they have. And I think we do that in this city. And I think not just me. I think our teams, our instructors, our advisors, our financial aid people, our admission people, our workforce development, they all understand their roles, but they also understand that they need to share, in the responsibilities and for getting our students in and getting the tuition that we need and the revenue we need to continue these programs.
Right. Well, this is laid out almost in like a menu form. So if you have an interest, you can go down and select liberal arts and sciences, business and accounting, nursing and health, human and social services, education, criminal justice, or legal, and say, oh, I'd like to learn more about that.
Yeah, right? And that's why when I left this morning, there was a lot of students registering and talking to our advisors, and that's exactly what they talk about. They talk about all these different areas. Unless you really know, this is what I want to do.
Which some do.
I want to be a nurse.
Right.
Oh, okay. We won't talk to you about criminal justice.
That's right.
Right. But, so I think that you're right about the menu, and you're right about having students come in and really pick and choose where they would like to begin. But our 25 or older, those students know.
Yeah.
They know what they want.
Right. They figured it out, and you can help them.
Yes, absolutely. That's why we're here.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we covered a lot.
We did.
That's the
idea.
And I think that the end to really talk about where we can extend to talk to Michelle Hanley down at the Senior Center, to talk to Dave Murphy up at President's, and to see what we can do. I think those are things to extend more services to the city, different services, unique services, especially to our senior population. I know they do a great job. They've always done a great job.
Yeah.
But if we can fit in and offer some things to seniors that may have interest, that would be a great thing for us too. So we want to extend more in the city, but I think this booklet shares, the information shares, how much we do.
Yeah, speaking of seniors, do you still have the gym program for seniors?
Yes,
you do? Okay.
Yeah, this is last year, I think there were 18 or 19 seniors that come in the morning, and and they're working hard. I don't join them, and I'm a senior. I can't keep up with those.
Right.
But that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
It's a silly membership, like you don't pay much at all.
Right.
Right. But it's a place for them to go.
Yeah.
And then you see them talking after, going for coffee after.
Yes.
So that's another kind of cultural piece that's pretty cool.
Right, and they may have children or grandchildren,
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Yeah, it goes back to what you said about the college is really much more family oriented, I think, than any other college. I mean, these community colleges, as great as they are, the 15 of them, I don't think they have the connection to families that we do. And that's why my transition from the school system has been so rewarding, because I've been able to talk with so many families, the grandmothers, grandparents, mom, dad, whomever,
Yes.
Just to make sure that we're doing the right thing for families, because that's really what this city is all about, and the college is all about.
QuincyCollege.edu is your main website.
Yes.
To go to, and
Yeah.
everything that we've talked about is there for folks.
Yeah, and for people to take a look at our website
Yes.
and to take a look and say what opportunities we have, I think would be a really good thing. There's a ton of information on there.
Yes.
It's improving all the time, like every other piece of technology,
Right,
you know.
yeah.
But Mike does a really nice job in marketing, so I think they can take advantage of that. And they can call me anytime.
Sure. Yeah.
7 days a week. Why not? Right? I love my work, and I love the city, and I love the college, and that school system I miss every day too.
It's just across the street, Rick.
I know.
You can visit
I
anytime.
know. I know. But they do a great job. Kevin and Erin doing a great job over there as leaders. So I'm appreciative of that legacy that's there somehow, some way. You know?
We'll be talking to them soon here on the program as well.
Good,
For a
good,
little
good. Great people.
Fall update.
Great people.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. Great to talk
What
to you.
a pleasure, and thank you
Likewise.
so much for what you do and what cable does, because the information is so valuable that you get out there that people are very, very appreciative. I don't know if you hear it at all or hear it sometimes, but I have to tell you, I hear it all the time about what great programs you have and the hard work that you do.
Thank you.
And success.
Thank you. Well, we have some Quincy College graduates that have come through our program.
Love that.
Here.
Love
yes,
that.
And have gone on to be great successes.
Good.
So
Well, thank you very much. I
you're very
appreciate it,
welcome.
Joe.
And thanks for watching us here at AM Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano, and we'll see you next time.